Now, many people come to me and they say, Steve, I'm trying to apply these law of attraction ideas. I'm doing affirmations, and I'm reading my goals each day, and I just can't seem to manifest anything. It doesn't seem to be working for me. I think the law of attraction may not really be true. And I just look at the person and I'm like, okay, what are you trying to manifest? Well, I'm trying to manifest a life of passion and excitement and a total abundance. And I want to have all that in my life. I'm like looking at this person saying, this person's exuding exactly the opposite vibe. You're exuding kind of this disconnected, boredom, apathy state with me, or at least a kind of a low level of contentment. That's not what abundance feels like. That's not what passion feels like. Where's the feeling? Okay, if the feeling isn't there, it's not going to manifest. It has to be, the vibe has to be being put out by that person. Okay, so I have to explain to these people, it's not just about reading affirmations. For the most part, I think reading affirmations is a waste of time. I don't even bother with that. Unless somehow that works for you, like reading the affirmations in a really passionate state helps you get you really worked up and get to create that feeling. Okay, this little 20-minute visualization I gave you, that's just one of many ways you can use to create that feeling. Some people do it by shifting their physiology, okay, like standing a certain way, breathing a certain way. I find that works for some things, but it can be a little bit limiting because I'm like, how would I stand if I was feeling abundant? I don't really associate a certain body language with that. And the truth is, I don't think the body language matters all that much. At least in my experience, it hasn't. I think the body language is more of an effect. And to focus on that too much of a cause as a cause, I think it makes it more difficult to manifest abundance because you'd have to have your body in that state like longer periods of time each day. I mean, you'd be like focusing on trying to get your body in that place each day. Or I think it's a little easier to focus on the thoughts because then they'll just arise naturally. It's easier to do that when you're just sitting in your car thinking about it. Give rise to the feeling. But really, if the body language stuff works for you, if like standing a certain way and focusing on that several times a day works for you, by all means use it. Okay, the real idea here is that you need to do whatever it takes to create that vibration and to make it a dominant part of your daily reality. Okay, now, what's going to happen? What's going to happen next? Once you start getting this vibration and it starts becoming more and more dominant, gradually, okay, it's not like necessarily going to be an abrupt thing, but the more you shift into that new vibration, the more you start putting on a different vibe, the more things in your external reality, the matrix of reality around you, are going to begin to change. And they're going to change in two primary ways, initially. First of all, you're going to start feeling more and more of a disconnect with the things in your reality, the people, the places, possibly the job you have, the experiences that you've been used to. You're feeling more of a disconnect with those parts of your reality that do not resonate with the new vibration you're trying to create. So if you're trying to create an experience of abundance, anything that keeps knocking you back down into a scarcity state, scarcity vibration, you're going to get more and more frustrated with it and you're going to feel more and more disconnected with it. Certain people in your life, you might feel more and more disconnected from. Okay, that's normal. That's supposed to happen. On the other hand, new things are going to start arriving in your life. New opportunities, new people, new experiences are going to start showing up in your life that are not congruent with your old vibration, but they are congruent with the new one you're creating. Okay, so you're going to start, like if you're focusing on financial abundance, you're going to have a new business opportunity may show up. And at your old state of scarcity thinking, it would never come to you, or you would never even recognize it, you would never capitalize on it. But now it shows up, and it's a match for your new state of abundance. Now here's the tricky part. Okay, this part you may not want to hear, but I assure you it's true. The next step, okay, the first step we have to go through is creating that new vibration. But that's not enough. That is not enough by itself. If that is all you do, you will not get there. Okay? The second key element is that in order to fully shift your reality now, not just your internal vibration that you're putting out, but actually allow the reality around you to shift, you're going to have to exercise courage. No matter what, I guarantee you will have to exercise courage. There is no way to shift into that new reality without doing something brave. Okay? Without doing something that gives you a little bit of fear, at least. Maybe a lot of fear, depending on how big a shift you're trying to make. Okay? Disconnecting with your old relationships and anything you're connected to in your old reality is going to take courage. Being able to connect with the things in your new reality is going to take courage. Okay? Anything, Think of it like this. Think of it like this. You are in a certain comfort zone right now. And your comfort zone is simply what you're experiencing. If you're assuming you've been experiencing things in your life for a certain length of time, like certain relationships, a certain career, certain financial situation, you've gotten used to it. Okay, you're comfortable with it. Even though it may not be what you want, it's within your comfort zone. It's a familiar experience. If you want to shift over to a new place of being, that is a new vibration. It's a new reality. It's a new experience, and therefore is outside your comfort zone. You are not going to be comfortable with it. So when these things start showing up in your life, they're going to give you a feeling of discomfort, which you may interpret as fear. Okay, you may be scared to take advantage of some of these opportunities. Okay, like when I would shift my vibration financially, I would get some business deals that would show up, and they would be bigger than anything I'd done before. It made me a little nervous. Okay, but if I get nervous, I'm shifting my vibration back into scarcity. So I have to go back and like, okay, what's this abundance mindset? Well, that's going to include some confidence. So I have to put myself back there, and I have to exercise the courage to take advantage of those deals that came to me. On the other side, I have to exercise courage to disconnect from all the stuff in my life that doesn't resonate with my new vibration of abundance I'm trying to create. Okay? You do have to take action here. That's where the action comes in, is being able to summon the courage to really follow your heart. That when you created this heart set, this new vibration, you've got to follow it now. You have to let it lead you. Okay? You have to honor it. If you keep going back to the old vibration, you're simply going to block what manifests. Okay? The manifestations are going to start showing up. But they're going to come in a way that's going to make you uncomfortable. Okay? That's where you have to just say, all right, I know courage is required. I just have to be brave, and I've got to do it. I've got to let go of the old, and I've got to start embracing the new. For example, this year, I decided to focus on creating intimacy abundance in my life. Okay, now what I mean by that is, for many years of my life, most of my adult life, I had a very deep, intimate connection with just one woman. Okay, that was like my intimacy part of my life. This one marriage, one relationship, where we were just like very deep, very, very connected here. And as I started thinking more about this abundance mindset, I felt a little bit out of match with this. Like it didn't feel like a good fit for me anymore, because I felt like, I'm trying to get like all my experience of love from just one person, and that's not what I'm feeling anymore. I'm starting to shift in this vibration of wanting to be just like surrounded by just a radial field of love just all around me, like wanting to have these loving, deep, intimate connections with lots of people. Maybe not a huge number, but say at least like half a dozen really close, intimate friends where I can just talk to them about anything. They can talk about me about anything. We care about each other very deeply. We encourage the heck out of each other. We inspire each other, wanting to have those kinds of connections. But then I also had the sense that, if I was connecting that deeply with a woman, well, this is what happened with my wife. When I first met her, I connected with her very deeply emotionally, and then it became a physically intimate relationship as well. And I thought, what would that feel like to have like multiple emotionally intimate connections, but also the possibility that there'd be multiple physically intimate connections connected with that emotional intimacy as well. And I thought, does that feel good? Does that feel like something I want to step into? Does that feel like a vibration I want to experience? So I just imagined it. What would that be like? And as I imagined it, I thought, that feels so good to me. It feels better than what I'm experiencing right now, just this one-on-one intimate connection, physically and emotionally. I thought I would feel really good in that place. And I couldn't help but just keep thinking about it and imagining it and how good it felt. And so I started to shift into that vibration. And then new experiences started coming to me. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I can't do that with you. I'm married. And I would block them. And I kept blocking them and blocking them and blocking them. I'm like, whoa, and I still kept focusing on that vibration, so these things kept showing up. And then I started on the other side feeling more and more of a disconnect with my wife. Our intimate connection was no longer as satisfying to me. And why? Because I was shifting my vibration out of this intimacy model based on just a single committed monogamous relationship, and I wanted to have really this field of loving relationships around me. Like that's what I was moving into manifesting. But as it started showing up, I started blocking it. Well, eventually I realized what I was doing, and I thought, I do want to step into this vibration. I do want to allow my reality to be congruent with the person I'm becoming on the inside. And that took a lot of courage. I had to start doing things that were very much outside my comfort zone because it was not anything I experienced before. Long story short, over the past year, just all kinds of experiences came to me, and I had to really push myself to keep saying yes to this kind of stuff. But it always was like a breakthrough for me when I kept saying yes. And other people would even say to me, like, Steve, I can't believe you just said that. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you had the courage to do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. And but I realized that courage is essential. Otherwise, I'm always going to be blocking myself from creating that vibration. Long story short, over the past, say, 10 or so months, I gradually shifted more and more into that vibration. And now I feel like I'm really there in my life. And it had massive consequences for my life. It led to my wife and I separating a couple weeks ago, and us, now we're in the process of getting a divorce. And even though I'm going through a divorce, I'm feeling good about it. I'm not giving my power to it. It's not disempowering me. I don't feel bad about it because I know the new vibration I'm shifting into is the right one for me. And it's this new reality I want to experience is one of even greater abundance than before. And the truth is that in my relationship with my wife, as some friends have pointed out, we became so intimate with each other, but there was no intensity to it. It's like we became so close we were more like brother and sister with each other. And it was just an experience that was different than what I was really feeling called to. It's like my heart was calling me in a different direction. And so as we talked about it, we agreed that that having the structure of a marriage around our relationship was not working for us, and we decided to let that go so that we could maintain a relationship that was deep and intimate, and friendship, being a big part of that. But it wasn't something that we were using to block ourselves from experiencing other things. And the truth is that because I was becoming a vibrational match for something new, my wife was as well. And she's shifting in a new direction herself. So it's interesting that we were, by clinging to each other too much, too tightly, we were just blocking ourselves from both manifesting what we really wanted. And now that trapped energy is freed up and we've let go in that area a little bit, we're both like heading off in different directions. And she's manifesting different things for herself. I'm manifesting new things for myself. But yet, we're still really good, really close friends, and we still have this sense of intimacy in our lives. Now, for somebody else looking in with a totally different mindset, they see our situation as something that's all screwed up, or that's riddled with pain, or negative feelings, like we should be fighting or something, and it's exactly the opposite of that. We are really, genuinely still great friends. It's just that we've both shifted our vibration in a different way, that we want to experience a different kind of abundance in our life. It's not necessarily we're experiencing the exact same thing. It's just that by clinging to each other too tightly, by clinging to the familiar, by holding ourselves to our comfort zone, we were blocking ourselves from manifesting what we wanted. And we both had to express and exhibit a lot of courage to let go of the old and to embrace the new. Okay, this is a huge part of manifesting. If you want to manifest what you want in any area of your life, courage is essential. Okay, you will not get there if you're blocking yourself from doing anything courageous. Okay, you will have to start embracing that stuff that is coming to you from outside your comfort zone. You will have to start saying yes to it. Now, my experience is that if you really are getting that new vibration and that stuff starts showing up and you say yes to it, I'm hard-pressed to think of a time where it did not work out. It just seems like it always works out. I don't like using the word always, but I really can't think of a time where I was really holding that new vibration and something showed up and I said yes to it and it did not work out. I'll tell you what happens though is when stuff that's a match for my old vibration shows up and I say yes to it, that's where I start having stuff not work out. That's where I go, oh man, why did I do that business deal? I shouldn't have done that. That wasn't a great deal. It's because I got sucked back in my old pattern. Okay, but when I'm really a match for the new vibration and I exercise courage to take advantage of the new opportunities that are showing up, whatever form they're coming to me, and I can see like, oh, this is a match for new vibration. It's going to stretch me beyond my comfort zone. It's in line with what I'm wanting to experience, and I have to step into that state even more to accept it, to embrace it, and to receive it. That's the stuff that just seems to always work out. That's where like the money just keeps flowing and the relationships become very deep, very intimate, very quickly, and you feel happy. See, it's not that the reality around you is going to make you feel a certain way, but it will reinforce your vibration. Okay? It'll be a match for it. There'll be this kind of congruent play back and forth between the vibration you're putting out and what your reality is sending back to you. Okay? And I love the state of my life right now because I really feel like I'm locked into this intimacy abundance state. And now I just have like people just connecting with me and we're able to create an intimacy experience fairly quickly. Even just online. Like, wow, I can't believe somebody just like sent me this email out of the blue and this is what they're telling me right off the bat. And I write back and like, maybe we do a phone call later, and now it's like I already feel like this person is like really good friends with me, and I can just talk to her or him about anything. Very strange how different that is from the old vibration where I would block all those kinds of connections. So you have your 2 steps here. Okay, 1, you can use some kind of visualization process, or really any process that you find that works for you, to start shifting your dominant vibe that you're putting out to one of abundance, or to one of what you want to experience, where you're really feeling it as if it's already there. Okay, you're feeling it so real, it feels like it should be showing up in your reality anytime now. Okay, that's the first part. Second part is that when things start to manifest, and you start to feel like out of sync with old parts of your reality, and beginning to fall into sync with new parts, new things that are showing up from outside your comfort zone, you have to exhibit courage. You have to say yes to it. Okay, you have to summon the courage to say yes. If you go all cowardly on it, and you're going to shift back to your old vibration. Okay, courage is essential. You must do that. Now, existing and living in that state of abundance, I'll tell you, it's a wonderful place to be. Okay, you will love it. You will absolutely love it. You will not regret it. Now, yes, you will have to go through this courage process again and again to get there, to really allow those manifestations to happen, to experience what you want to experience. Wish I could offer you an easier way, but that is essential, and that will allow you to step into that place even more, because the truth is that when you are in a state of abundance, you know that there's nothing to fear. Okay, you know that fear is an illusion, and you see through the fear. If you are feeding your fear, you're giving your power away again, and that's part of the scarcity vibration. Okay, the abundance vibration is fearless. Okay, because there's nothing to fear, because you know anything you want to experience in life, you can create it. If you have an experience you don't want to have, you can create something different. You can replace it. So that knowing and holding that power in yourself, knowing that all that power to create is within you, that you are the creator of your experience, that is part of the abundance mindset. And that is a mindset, or I should say a heart set, or a vibration of fearlessness. Okay? That you really want to reach the point where you are relating to your reality no longer on the basis of fear, but just on the basis of like, I am the creator of this place. I'm the creator of my experience. And therefore, you could not possibly have anything to fear, because it's all your creation. And you're just here. You're here to experience and to enjoy it and to continue to allow your creative energies to flow. Until next time, live consciously.